Michael. Good to meet you. What are you doing here?
We're watching you play around.
Oh, well, that's good. A what? Game
We're
for what?
watching you. Story time.
Story.
Yeah, you don't know which one to pick out.
Oh, you guys want to hear a story?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, you know, in order to hear a story, you have to use your imagination. Do you know what an imagination is doing?
Yeah.
You all used it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. You really know what an imagination is? Tell me what it is.
It's when you think in your head and then it's not really happening.
Think? Not really happening? Oh, you don't know what imagination is. Who would like to try again? You.
It's where you're imagining something.
Yeah, you're getting close. Who else? You.
It's where you're like in Lollyland.
Lollyland. I love that. It's a little sugary though. Yes.
It's somewhere where you like you don't give up. Something that when you don't stop when you say but it's not really happening.
Oh, that would be like a dream.
That's it.
Yeah, it's close. Close. Actually, an imagination is made up of magic. Did you know that?
No.
It's magic. And it comes from two places. Here and here. You have magic in both your head and your heart. Did you know that? And when you take them out, if you let them loose, bring them together, like a book, create your own story. Did you know that? Okay. Now you do. And as I tell the story, I'm going to need you to use your imagination. And if you use your imagination good enough, we can create some magic. You guys like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay? All right? So put your hand on your head, one hand on your heart. Think about it. Okay? Are you ready? Got it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I forgot?
Yep.
Oh, just as important as it is to use your imagination when you listen to a story, you have to use your imagination to tell a story, don't you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even reading from a book. I mean, anybody can stand up on stage or sit in a chair and read a book to a child, right? Or anything.
Yeah.
But to use your imagination makes it even more fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right? Shall I use my imagination?
Yeah.
Let's. Now, in order to use my imagination, I can't very well tell a story like this, now can I? I think that I should do some changing. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think I should be? A king?
Yeah.
No?
No.
How about, let's see, a wizard?
No.
No? No wizards? How about, oh, I don't know, a mathematician? No. They don't tell good stories? A what? A librarian? Well, they are.
No.
Oh, kind of interesting, aren't they?
A wizard.
A wizard?
A nice guy. No, be a horse that you can read. Be a horse.
A horse that can read. That would be a
A clown.
clown. Oh, I don't do clowns. Clowns frighten me.
Actor. Me too. Actor.
An actor?
A cowboy.
Cowboy? I think I've been a cowboy
A
before.
graduation person.
A what?
A graduation person. A
Pirates are boring, actually.
That's little Mary. You're being a budget. A gypsy.
Oh, pirates have swords. Gypsies are interesting, but they never stay in one place too long. They never finish their story. They just move on. How about I just be? How about I just be a storyteller that looks a little funny? A pirate? Oh, gosh.
It's a paint.
I'm an artist, actually. You know what's in this
Oh,
brush?
I thought it was a paint.
In this brush
Magic.
is magic. This is a magic brush I've had for I don't know how many years. And in it is our story today. Did you know that?
No.
But I need your help with it. You see, I can't make it work by myself. I need your imaginations in it. So, if you would be so kind as to touch the brush, put your imaginations into the brush. Can you do that? Because you are going to help me with this story. Yes, it is. There we go. Yes. Good job.
Thank you.
Very good. Now, what shall we tell? Would you like me to help you make it up?
Cars.
Cars? Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. Have you all heard the story of the three little pigs?
Yes.
You have? And you probably heard the story about, oh, let's see, this big bad wolf came along, and there was a house full of straw, and what was the next one?
Bricks.
Sticks.
And then bricks.
And then came two bricks. Yes, oh, the brick one, yeah. Anyway, well, you know what? I've heard that story is all wrong. Oh, yes, it is. It's all wrong. In fact, I have the real story. You see, today will be the day that you find out what really happened. Today will be, oh, we need canvas. There we go. Almost forgot the canvas. Now, today we're going to tell the true story of the three little pigs. Yes. You see, in this story, what I'm going to do with this magic brush is I'm going to take the pictures out of the book and put them onto my screen so you can see with your imaginations. Okay? Now everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, as you said. Or at least you think you do. But I'll tell you a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has heard the wolf's side of the story. No. Nobody. I am the wolf. Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault that wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies, sheep, and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you're big and bad too. Really, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze. Bless you. And a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Now, way back in once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street and asked my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor happened to be a pig. And he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Isn't that silly? Would you do that?
No.
You would?
If that was the only thing I had, I would.
Well, that's true. But it would be silly if he had other things, and then he had other things, so he was silly. I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, I fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into somebody else's house. Would you? You wouldn't wouldn't want to just walk in without being invited, so I called out. I said, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and then I let out a great sneeze. It was horrible. And you know what? The whole house of straw fell down, and right in the middle of it was the first little pig. First little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home all the time. Well, you know, being a wolf, it seemed a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. Now, wouldn't you eat a cheeseburger just laying on the floor? You wouldn't? What about you? Wouldn't you just eat a big roast if it was there before you? No? No, you...
If it was on a plate,
Yes. Would you? Very good. And you know what the wolf felt like. I mean, there's a ham dinner sitting right there. So, he ate it up. Maybe I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He built his house out of sticks. Is that better than straw?
Yes.
Sure? Sort of?
Maybe because it's harder.
True. This is true. Well, I rang the doorbell on the stick house, and nobody answered. I called out, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. What? I mean, where's the mouth then? When I felt another sneeze coming on, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, just like my mother had told me, cover your mouth when you sneeze. I tried, but I sneezed another great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it. But this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. That's sad. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. Don't you go back when the food is good and have a second helping? Well, that's what he was doing. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling better. But I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old friend's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second pig's little brother. He must have been the brains of the family. His house was made of bricks. So I knocked on the door of the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker said? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar. And he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! Pig? I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake. When I felt my cold coming on again, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. And the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin.
Oh.
Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow. So when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. I mean, it was ugly. They came up at the wrong time. I was really just defending my granny's honor, but they thought I was doing something else. And, well, the rest, they say, it's history. After that, the big bad wolf thing went on, and I couldn't stop it. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I'd had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that big bad wolf stuff. It made me the bad guy. Puff and blow your house down and all these things. I'm really a very nice fellow. I was only thinking of my granny. So you see, that's it. That's the whole story. That's the real story. You believe him?
Yes. Yes.
Well, good. Because then maybe you could lend me a cup of sugar.
No. I would, but I don't have it right now.
And that is our story. What do you think? Would you guys like to do this again sometime?
Yes.
Very good. You go and tell your friends. And the one thing I want you to promise me is this. From now on, whether you go to the library, or you're sitting at home with your brother and father, or your grandmother, or whoever is reading you a story, put your hand on your head, put one hand on your heart, pull that imagination out and put them together, and make your own story. Okay?
Okay.
My name is Michael, and I've enjoyed telling you a story. Next month, I think we're going to tell the story of a little rabbit. His name was Peter, and his cousin Benjamin. Has anyone heard of him?
Yeah.
I don't think you've heard it like we can tell it. Thanks again.
Thank you.